So they should say on there new formula, but the can still says original formula. But I recommend brand variety for this exact reason, because you never know when a company is going to change their formula. You never know if there's going to be a recall. You never know if they're going to just stop making cat food altogether. This happens all the time. I mean, if you want to avoid thickening agents altogether, don't feed wet canned food. Hey friends, it's Jess Jericho. Let's take a look at the old and the new formula of Instinct's wet cat food. So right off the bat, the product name is the same, but the ingredients are what's different. So I see that they are using chicken liver and chicken broth instead of turkey liver and duck broth. So this might be an issue for you if your cat doesn't like chicken, or maybe you found that your cat reacts differently to chicken. I know there are some reviews on this product page that said they were so happy they found a food that doesn't have chicken and then Instinct added chicken. The next major difference that I see is that the new formula includes guar gum and the old formula does not, but it does include clay. Now, both of these ingredients are thickening agents, and yes, guar gum is a problem, but I mean, clay isn't good for cats either. So I don't really see a major difference there, because either way, your cat's consuming a thickening agent. I mean, if you want to avoid thickening agents altogether, don't feed wet canned food. Most of them have these thickening agents. That's what holds it together and gives it that pate shape. A pro here that I see is that they add egg to the new product, but it says egg product, which isn't very specific. Like, is it the whole egg? Is it the egg white? Is it the egg yolk? Is it the egg shell? So, I mean, it's a pro because eggs are good, but it's a con because we have no idea what of the egg they're using. Another big difference that I see is that the fruit and veggie ingredients were moved from the bottom, the very last of the ingredients list, up to the top. And many of them are appearing before the salt. Now, fruits and veggies aren't part of the cat's natural diet. They would consume the whole prey that includes the stomach contents, which are pre-digested plant materials. But I guess if you're taking a look at the bigger picture, at least there's more whole foods in the products, and they're higher up on the list than the synthetic supplements. Even though they aren't technically part of the cat's natural diet, at least that's a whole food source of nutrients instead of synthetic supplements. But a con I would say here is that there's still a tremendously long list of synthetic supplements. So I would say they probably aren't even using enough of those fruit and veggies for it to even make a difference nutritionally, because they're still adding back. And it looks like this pretty much the same exact supplements. Another difference is that the old formula has menhaden fish oil and the new formula has tuna fish oil. And the tuna fish oil is higher up on the list compared to the old formula with menhaden fish oil. And I think another reviewer also mentioned that they would prefer no tuna fish oil. And I think I would agree. I would probably say that menhaden fish oil would be better than tuna fish oil. The guaranteed analysis numbers are the same, but there are more calories in the new formula. So you might have to adjust the amount that your cat's eating. You might have to feed a little bit less. Just make sure you monitor how much you're exactly feeding and how much your cat weighs. I would suggest to weigh your cat weekly. That's what I do with Jericho. Keep track of, like I said, the amount of food that you're feeding, how that correlates to his weight, and adjust accordingly. Now, a lot of these new formula products are getting negative reviews that have come in within the last few months. A lot of people are saying that their cats don't like it. One that had IBD had a severe flare-up because the cat parent had no idea that the company changed their ingredients. And, you know, she buys the food thinking it's the same, feeds it to her cat, and whenever you feed something new, you want to do it in a gradual transition because they did change the ingredients. So it makes sense that she had a flare-up because it was new ingredients and her body didn't know how to digest those properly because she wasn't eating it previously. But the cat parent has no idea unless you're using a microscope to read the ingredients list every single time you buy it. I mean, frankly, you should be, but at the same time, you find a brand that you trust and rely on, your cat likes it, you want to continue buying it, especially if you have a health issue because it's been working for your cat so far. But from the pet food manufacturer's standpoint, they don't have everyone's email. Like, for example, if you're going to Petco and buying the food there, they don't have your email. They have no way to contact you to tell you that there's a new formula change. But they could spend the money to create a new label because they're printing a new label anyway with the new ingredients. So they should say on there, new formula, but the can still says original formula. But I recommend brand variety for this exact reason, because you never know when a company is going to change their formula. You never know if there's going to be a recall. You never know if they're going to just stop making cat food altogether. This happens all the time. So that's why, cats in the wild, they eat 5 to 7 different proteins. Protein variety is key. But another layer on top of that, brand variety is also key, because now you have this cat food that your cat can't eat or won't eat, and you're kind of stuck because you don't have anything else to transition him to. Whereas if you had multiple brands that your cat ate, if your cat refused the food, then you have multiple backups, and then your cat won't starve. You won't have to feed your cat new food and then he gets sick. So that's why, again, brand variety is key. So here's a response from Instinct Pet Food on their reviews. We recently expanded our wet manufacturing operations to an international co-packer to support our expanding needs and to ensure that we are able to reliably produce our wet formulas that are made in a facility that meet our high safety and high quality standards. So I would say here that it could be iffy. I predict that there are going to be more changes in their brand if they're expanding to an international manufacturing facility. That might mean that they're going to use ingredients from all over the world. I mean, they might already be doing this. But do I still recommend this brand? I mean, if your cat still eats it and you're okay with these changes, I still think that this wet food brand is better than most. But there are definitely better than this. I mean, ideally your cat would be eating a fresh, raw diet, but if the best that you can do is wet food, then I would suggest checking out this video right over 𝐤𝐄𝐄 if you want to upgrade to the best wet food that you possibly can feed. Thanks for watching.